and welcome to the Forward Progress Show. I am your host, DeAnna Brown, where you can go from dream to screen, page to stage, and make forward progress at any age. I am joined today by our guest, Jade Turner and Mr. Zion Turner.
Yes.
And today, we're going to have some updates and hot topics. It's a little bit different for our show today, but I am so excited. This started from a conversation that we were having about mothers and daughters.
Right.
And a lot of times you get this with my husband, and you get, go ask your mom, go ask your mom.
Or with dads in general.
With dads in general, right? And so when you guys were younger, it was easier to do that. But now I think that what we talked about is as women becoming friends with your mom.
Yes.
And I think that is where we're coming from today. So my question is, what question do you want to ask your mama today, Jade?
Ooh, right on the spot. I don't know yet. I feel like I want to talk about different things. I think just because how we are in relationship, just, getting to know each other. I know, like, when I was younger, like a teen and stuff, and your friends would give you terrible teen advice, but, like, thankfully, I didn't go through that because I would just ask my mom, well, Mom, what is this? What is that? And just that open conversation. I know having my own kids, I was talking to you about how their children for such a young time, like a short time, 18 years.
18.
And then for the rest of the parent's life, you could be best friends. Like, you don't want to admit it, but, like, I'm going to be your best friend for the rest of your life.
You're not my best friend.
Again, we know the truth. And just encourage other people to have that, regardless of what your relationship might have been with your mom. If you get that in, take it, and become that best friend, because your mother is going to be a wiser, smarter you. And on the off chance that your mama is not, you can then help, better your parent and be just better all around, So what do I want to ask my mom? Okay, so I saw this thing on the internet I was looking at. And I guess one thing, if there was anything that you could change about your parenting style growing up, what would you change?
Ooh, if there was
Hit 'em in the
anything,
gut.
I know, right? That was a good one. I think that I would be a bit more open and honest, which I know. I am open and honest, so I think maybe a bit more filtered with my openness and honesty.
Okay.
Because I'm a hot mess, but I like to tell it how it is. If I could have done anything different, oh man, I would have lived the attributes of love, forgiveness a lot differently, especially forgiveness.
True.
Man, I lived that really bad.
But
I would
again,
live those.
now you're way, way better. So I was like, if we would have held on to that,
So does it help you when I said I didn't do a good job then?
I think it's funny. I don't know if it's an inside joke. I feel like other people feel this way too. We always say we weren't raised right. And just as a joke, like, now that I have a 2-year-old and my 5-month-old, you're just out here winging it. Okay, I'm just trying. Trial and error, trial and error. So that was becoming a mother definitely made me say, hey, I forgive you. I appreciate you.
Thank you.
Because if it was anything like this, bruh, okay, you just out here guessing check. Okay, they didn't break. We'll move on. So I think when you say that, I just think it's funny.
Well, I think one of the things for me growing up is, like, after you get a certain age and after you have children and you can see your own struggle, and to look back and see your mom, and thank you for saying you forgive me because I needed it. But you go through these things where you're going to be just like your mom in some areas, or in some areas you're going to be like totally different. I don't want to be anything like her.
Right.
And so riding that balance, you think, okay, I finally got it all together. Then you have your own kids. And you have to then make choices.
Yeah.
What kind of parent are you going to be? And based upon the parent that you saw, the parent you didn't see, because the parents who are not around don't make a lot of mistakes.
Right.
So, you're going to get out there and make that decision based on, your thoughts. So, I don't know. I think I answered your question.
You did.
Okay.
You did.
What else? What else you have for me?
All right, let's see. Let's think of a lighter question. That was all deep. If you could dress me however you wanted for a day, what would you do? This is very mommy mode, breastfeeding accessible.
I would.
Just, hey, in and out of HEB. But what would you do?
Oh, I would.
Throwback Thursday. I used to dress us all the time.
Yeah, I would have a striped blouse on and then some plaid pants that coordinated with the floral overlay, and some makeup and some earrings.
You're not going to do that now.
No.
We're not going to cut to you dressed us, put that in here. It's not happening. That's a lot of patterns. It's a lot of patterns.
So one of the things that I was talking to one of the other ladies about with Go Ask Your Mom is there was a lot of times where young ladies, we're talking about young ladies, not men right now, that didn't have the opportunity to go ask their mom.
Right.
Right? How did you feel by me being a surrogate mom to others at times?
Oh, I got you.
You know, that didn't have the same opportunity. How did that make you feel?
Truthfully, I think it's awesome when other people are like, I love your mom. I tease and say, you know, my mom, she's all right. But you really are a good mom, so you have a lot of qualities that make other people want to be like, oh, your mom, you know, she listens, she's talking, she's open. And I think one of the reasons that it's so easy for me, and then I think just easy for you to have these relationships with other people is because you are so open and you are open to listen. Like when we were younger, of course, you don't just let a 9-year-old say however they feel, do whatever they feel. It's like, have your feelings,
right,
but you're wrong. Have your feelings, but you're going to bed. And so I appreciated that. But now that we're adults and you're with these other people, it's not like you're trying. You get what I'm saying? Like, this is just how you've been. I'm 27 now, Deja's about to be 30. So for the last 30 years, it's just how you've been. And so motherly. I know that you hate to be like in charge, but like you really are motherly. And hey, the more kids you have, the better. So because you have a lot of motherly advice to give.
Thanks.
So the more people you can spread it out on,
our next guest, we'll see, okay?
The easier it is on me and your children. Like, oh yes, go mother them for a minute.
Oh, okay. So just push me off on other people.
Right.
Okay, I like
Let
that.
you
I
love
like
them.
that.
But no, all jokes aside, it's really it's awesome. The more you know, and it's almost a compliment for other people to be like, I want your mom to be my mom. It's like, oh, my mom's a big deal, but you know, no.
Until you get to know her. Okay, so let's transition a little bit.
All right.
Now, like you said, you have the babies.
Yes.
And you see yourself making choices that are like, hindsight, that wasn't a good choice, right? So, you know. I thought of a few. So how do you deal with that? Like the emotions of postpartum. You had postpartum. Yes. You have another son that's 2.
Yeah.
So you got terrible 2s going on, right?
Right.
And like the day you just mess up as a mom, like you didn't succeed at all.
So
you failed
on those days.
But your kids are alive.
Right. That's it. You just go down to bare bones. Did they eat? He might not have taken it bad, but he don't smell bad. So we gonna move past that. They ate, they sleeping now. Okay. Is it 2 o'clock in the hour? Is it 8 o'clock at night? And they taking a nap and they gonna be up at 12? Who cares? Okay. You lower them expectations. You bring them way down.
Way down.
And then that's like I said. Then you look back at your mom and it's like. So sometimes those nights where we had cereal, it wasn't about we don't have it. Listen, we had our wits in. Everybody ate though, and heck, I like cereal, so. It just depends. Yeah, so now you look back and you're like, oh, okay, I appreciate my mom. So like, for example, you had 7 of us growing up and you would make us not 7 different meals, but you would tailor them to our 7 different personalities.
Oh,
I mean, my one brother was like, I don't like square cheese, but I like shredded cheese, but I want a cheese on hamburger. But if you could do, it was so much. And the fact that you just remembered and you did that for us. So when I have my 2 and my baby is like, I want to fuss, or I only want peanut butter and jelly sandwiches cut in the squares, I say, you know what? My mom did it. I can do it.
I think this little guy is ready for some food.
Yeah.
Milk.
He has some things he want to say. How do you feel about my parenting?
Not too good right now.
No, I gotta have smile. It's shaky.
Well, this is DeAnna with the Forward Progress Show, and I'm just so excited for JD's first question of Ask Your Mama. We'll see how it works out, because this little guy is really hungry.
I'm asking mom to babysit next time.
Don't ask your mom to babysit. These are our updates and hot topics. We're coming right back with Candice Lachey and Rhea. Oh my God, we have some updates for you from our last show with Latch Support. A lot has happened in a couple of weeks, y'all. So right after this commercial break, we'll get back with you.
Hi, this is DeAnna Brown, and welcome to the Forward Progress Show. We are on location today at the Moad Center, and we are doing Arrow updates and hot topics, okay? We're at the Moad Center, we're chilling, we're having a good time, and like we're straight on in the camera, and it's a little different than I'm used to, like at the studio, right? Yeah. It's like, yeah.
But first rule of acting, never look into the camera.
Yeah, but we're looking at it, you know? Yeah. But I guess the biggest thing is I want to start off by telling y'all how grateful I am that y'all came. For real, for real. Let me pray.
Oh, yeah.
Lord, I just thank you for this moment. I thank you for laughter because it really is good like medicine. And I thank you, Father God, for these beautiful young women. And as we move forward in this interview, we won't belabor on time. We're going to do what we said we're going to do and get it done so that they can get to doing what they have planned tonight. But God, I just ask you to bless us and let us get some great updates and some good times rolling. In Jesus' name.
In Jesus' name.
Amen.
Amen. So, I basically am here today in the host capacity because you wonderful ladies have done a lot of great things in your personal life and your professional lives, and just want to see, you know, where you're at, where you're going, and like don't count anything too small. If this, whatever Forward Progress has done for you, like I said, personal, professional, let me know, let me hear it. And we just want to, like I said, catch up. So I'm going to start with you.
Oh, Tarra!
Okay, so it all began when I met Mama D, or Miss DeAnna, in our mid-class.
Yes.
And we sat by each other and we just hit it off almost instantly. So she
That
was
was
telling me
5 years ago?
Yeah, it was about 5 years ago now, right? It's been a while.
Mm-hmm.
It's been a while. But yeah, so we hit it off, and she told me the vision.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I just resonated with it, and I told her I would help her any way I could, and that's how I kind of just got thrown in the mix.
Yes. I mean, she has helped any way she could. I'm not sure what y'all spoke about then, but just coming in, I want to say clerical is not the word, but like office-wise, administrative-wise.
Yes.
And then how you went from, you know, checking in. Tara was a point person on, okay, how do you do these computers? How do you set this up? How do you do that? So how'd you go from almost behind the scenes, like at the desk, to on the screen?
Mama D.
Well, let me just say this now. I have a gift from God, and you cannot say that it's not right to use the gift that you have when you see the gift in someone else.
Okay. So let's not move on because we're going to come back, but we're going to hit with Jessica, your Throwback Thursday. How'd you get to Forward Progress?
Ooh. Is it weird if I say I feel like I was kind of born into it, I guess? Because when I was born, she's friends with my mother, so it's just kind of like I knew her family growing up, and then once I was always into acting and modeling and stuff like that, so once my mom found out that she was doing something like that, she was like, oh, well, let's go over here and let's just get you plugged in, and that's how it started. I think maybe the first thing we did was when me and James did the whack comeback. I really want to say that was the very first thing.
Very first thing you did that I can remember is you had to do a monologue.
Oh,
so
yes, I was actually, yeah,
so
I
want to
in
say
an acting program.
After JB, you're probably like the second arrow, like you're like OG.
Can I get a crown? Do I get a crown?
Yes. You look like a crown with an arrow.
That's exactly
the
how
arrow
it started.
straight up. We're gonna design it. It's for you.
Oh, an arrow crown.
Yes.
I was in an acting class, and I had to perform, and I had to work on my monologue, and that's when I was like, oh, Miss DeAnna does that, and so let's just get you over there. And she really helped me with that and stuff, just helped me get out of myself and stuff like that, and that's how. And then after that, we started doing more things and more things. Yeah, you're right. It was.
Wow. You have a great
I
memory.
do. I have a wonderful, great,
Conversation
recall because as the reluctant arrow here at Forward Progress, I'm going to ask myself, Throwback Thursday, how did you get involved in Forward Progress, Jade?
Yes.
Tell me more. That's gonna be cute. So what had happened was, with James, our brother who's not here, he wanted to become. He was an actor and different things like that, and it's like, oh, Jay, can you come record? Jessica's coming over. She has to do a monologue. Can you read her lines with her? The whack comeback is coming. Could you just come to the location with us? Throw the boom.
Make sure we stay.
Right, exactly. And it's just like, sure.
Now Jay's
why not?
Everything.
Right. And honestly, I think I'm going to go deeper than Jessica as far as being born into this. She is my mother. I was born, literally. And just being like a sort of ride or die for you, I support your whims. That's as long as they are. There's no crime.
My whims, though.
They are whimsical. Black Thursday. So before we get into our next hot topic, we just kind of want to see where you're at, what you have going on with personal, professional.
Personal, we just went to Six Flags today, and we hung out with some friends, which is really, really refreshing. It was crazy because like Six Flags, we spent the whole time talking. I mean, we got on a couple rides, but like because this is my husband's childhood friend cousin, and so I'm really cool with his wife, and so we just talked like the whole time. Like, oh, it was so good. And then they're going to the game tonight, so we all pulled up to the house and spent another like hour. They were over there talking. It was just really refreshing. So I think we're gonna hang out with them a little bit later tonight too. Awesome. So that was actually really good. Professional, I just got an email last night about auditioning for a short. Awesome. With a really good friend. She's actually she's the one that gave me my first chance in film. I did the lead role in her first short, literally like 11 years ago. Wow. And so she sent me an email. She's like, I'm getting back started. I'm gonna submit for a contest, and I wanted to know if you'd be interested. And I'm like, and I was like, delete all of that. You sound like a psycho. So I just like deleted all. I was just like, hey, can you talk? Here's my number. And then we ended up talking today, and we talked. I was in the line, so I was like, yeah, and I'm back in acting, and la la la. And then we talked again. She sent me the sides and the character development, and I'm like reading it, and I'm like on page 4, and I'm like, yeah, so this is my life. I should have this part. How do we go forward? So we had a really good conversation. I just have to send her the sides. I think we're gonna shoot right when I'm gonna be in Atlanta anyway, so it's like all just like, oh. So I'm pretty excited. And then we've got the Rays coming, and
yes,
more For Progress show.
Right.
So I'm kind of like low-key feeling like Issa Rae right now. I'm feeling real creative. Like, yeah, it's catch me at the Oscars next year. But yeah, right. So we'll see. We'll see. So it's a lot of really exciting things on. So I was like pretty crunk today.
Awesome. Pretty crunk. Haven't heard
that.
That's right. You brought it all the way back.
Old, you
feel it old school.
That's my throwback part. Crunk.
So I want to thank Miss Candice Lachey, Jessica King, and Jade Turner.
Shout out to Tara Wilson.
And Tara Wilson today. And you don't know that Miss Rhea Sunshine is in the green room over there. But I just really like to thank you, Arrows, for coming out today. And any Arrows, you're going to see some more updates. Thank you, guys. Y'all made my heart proud.
You're welcome.
And so remember, this is a Forward Progress show. You can go from dream to screen, page to stage, and you can make forward progress at any age. All right? Thank you. God bless you. And we'll see you again soon. Bye.
Bye.
Woo. And welcome back to the Forward Progress show. We are now joined by Candice Lachey and Miss Rhea Sunshine. That's not her real last name, y'all. But she is a Rhea Sunshine for sure. And Zion Turner is still here, and Jade Turner. So this segment, we want to introduce you guys to. You'll see more. You saw them a couple of weeks ago on Latch Support. And this is our update show. And this show with these two young ladies is called All Things Natural. Natural breastfeeding moms, natural products. Y'all have dug in deep and found information. So how do you feel about that, Jade? All things natural.
I support all things natural hair, but like I said earlier, 2 kids, natural-ish, like Tyson chicken nuggets. They they got some natural products also. They natural as close as natural as you can get after, a busy day. No judgment.
That's pretty good.
Mostly natural. Like I got hair weave. You feel me?
I feel
mostly
you.
natural.
Mostly natural. How about that? All things mostly natural. Candice Lachey, I want to start with you from the Latch Support breastfeeding show that we had, Millennial Moms. A lot has transpired since then. Can you start us off and tell us what happened after the show, after you talked to your agent?
So, literally, like right after we filmed the show, I ended up getting an audition. They were looking for real breastfeeding moms, And like, oh wait, I qualify for that. So I ended up getting an audition, got a call back, and we got it. So come to find out, it was a PSA for WIC. And
Women, infant, and children?
Yes.
Okay. And so I was pretty excited about it, and then I got an email asking if I wanted to bring my daughter. And I'm like, what? All right. So then I was like, okay, well, who can go with me? Because, I want somebody who has set experience and knows how to kind of maneuver that. So I was like, well, let me ask Christina. I was so scared. Well, I was like texting Jay, like, oh, what you think she's going to say? So I was like, well, let's just make it a trip, and Jay can come too.
I was down to get away. I was like, yes. Snap, put my baby in his little click connect. We good. Bye, little 2-year-old. Bye, husband. We're going to be back for progress calls. We got to go to work.
Okay. So I wanted to go down there Monday night, so we all jump in the car, get down there. It was a fiasco. We'll save that for a later date. But we finally got settled into our room. We get up and go. Me, you, Rhea go to set. We're one of the first people there. We get there at like 6:45, 7. And we're one of the first talents to get there. So we're just having a good time, getting ready. Me and Rhea shoot our first B-roll scene. We're in the park, and it pours down raining. So we probably got like 5 minutes of footage, and so then we're like running back, and we're right around the corner, so we cover up. We were good. But one of the crazy things that was happening was like, we were like hitting it off really well with people on set.
Oh my goodness, yeah.
It wasn't even like we were trying. It was just like we were just talking and connecting with people. So then I shot my first scene, and she was in this one as well, and she's popping off the boob and all this, and I'm like, okay, we gotta keep going. So we get through really, really good, and come to find out, so Miss DeAnna's upstairs, like just networking and talking to people. Do you want to share that piece?
I will share. So we were talking about going back to the hotel afterwards, and I'm like, oh, we get to go back. My daughter's there, my little grandson, and they're like, you have another grandbaby? I was like, well, yeah, because when I walked in, I was like, this is my grandbaby. And then I had to explain,
right.
She's not my real grandbaby. She's like my play. I am the god grandmother. I gave myself a title. And so so they were asking about it. I'm talking about another lady had a grandbaby. We're talking about grandbabies. And so she's like, you have another one? A boy or a girl? It's like, a boy. Well, how old? 5 months. Oh, would he like to come on tomorrow? And generally I would say yes, but I did ask his mom this time. They said yes. And it was like the next day, we're back on the WIC commercial. Jade and Judah are there.
That was insane. Go ahead, Jade.
I was going to say Jade and Zion.
The other one's Judah. Jade and Zion were there. So this day, we got there about 9 o'clock?
Yes, we had a little later call day.
Oh, yeah, it was not as... So Candice had speaking roles, and she was already booked. She knew what she was there for. Coming on to set, cold, Jade and Zion didn't know what they were there for. We kind of just had to go with the flow, and it was a really long day.
We went with the flow, though.
But the kids, I can say they were both amazing. They were both absolutely amazing. So you and Zion were on the show, and tell us how you felt.
We felt
the
good.
Commercial, rather.
Yeah, the PSA, as they say. It was fun. When we first got there, when they were like, oh, well, he's 5 months. He's going to be about the same size as some of the other babies yesterday. And Grandma quickly was like, oh, no, he doesn't look 5 months. And they're like, oh, well, actually, that's great. We're going to use him as like an older baby.
Yes.
So
he played up.
Right. He got to go on a play date. He got to eat in the restaurant, and that was funny. And then the pace feeding bottle, that was really the...
Oh, yeah.
He was not about that bottle life that day. Most breastfeeding babies don't want to eat when their mama's around, and so he was not. And as soon as he got done fake eating the bottle, he came and nursed right away. But he did. He had fun. I mean, we had fun. I'm glad there wasn't any speaking roles. Like you said, we were just cold and just kind of... Nowadays, what do they tell you to say? Like watermelon, to make it look like there's action. Just kind of talking amongst ourselves with some of the other moms. And I put the air quotes because you're going to see one mom who may or may not have had a baby.
But overall, for me, the experience being there in a domestic capacity, I was the child wrangler.
Oh, God.
I did a great job. I did, because I was wrangling my grandbabies. Okay. And they were good. I mean, like no extra crying and all that craziness, but they did a good job. Like they knew they were supposed to be there. So overall, my experience was like pride, you know, like seeing you guys on camera. The first day when Candice was on camera, I was standing in the background trying not to be on these people's set and be noticed, right?
Right.
Because it's someone else's set. And she's doing her part, and I'm like, oh my God, she's doing so good. She memorized all her lines in one day. This girl is reading from the teleprompter like a pro. Like you didn't even know, it sounded like a conversation.
Right.
So kudos on that, baby girl. You did a great job. So
This is not how you acted on set that day.
okay. So the WIC public service announcement commercial was the first thing. This being the update to the Latch Support Forward Progress show. We've had a couple of conversations, guys, and which is leading to you guys doing your own show as far as the segment of all things, well, most things natural.
Right, most things.
Most things natural. Because what I found out hanging out with you two is I had a breastfed baby, one of them out of, you know, all. But I didn't have the type of information. I had support. Like nobody said, give your baby milk. They did formula, but they try to make me feed them. But with the amount of support that you guys have, the information, and like you are becoming experts. And the information that y'all, the last show we had with Esther Rodriguez, she learned all this stuff on her own about being a mom of a child who had handicap. So she had to learn, and now she has become a wealth of information. She started her own nonprofit organization, and now they come to her for information. And that's how you guys are really becoming that wealth of information. I know that you troll the internet for moms who don't put their baby's car seats on, right?
I troll the internet for those moms. I have recently decided that when I see that, I'm going to say something. Typically, I don't, because the internet is a serious thing. But at least with the women who are close to me, and I understand the safe, like my sister taught me, and it's like, know better, do better. And so I've started so far with like cousins and family members and people that I know, and like, take it or leave it, but your baby need to be safe. You know, I would hate to hear something happen and your baby wasn't, you know, safe. I do not go around looking for people.
Hey, you're not the internet police.
Strap on right?
No, not at all. And it takes a lot for me to be like, you should probably raise the chest clip and maybe tighten the straps, but you know, I don't want to.
It's a lot of information.
But yeah,
It is. So like Jade was saying, like there's a lot of things like the car seats. There's a lot of different things that the market sells you that it's not needful.
The bumper pads you guys were telling me about.
Yeah.
You spend like 90 to upwards of hundreds of dollars for like these cute crib, like the bedding. So your blanket matches your bumpers, matches your pillows, matches your sheets. None of that is safe. You can't have any of that in the babies. You can, you're the parent, do what you want. But like safe, you can't be safe with all that stuff in there. All you need is a one tight crib sheet.
Yep.
That's it.
Not a blanket or anything.
Wow.
I mean, there's a lot of stuff, and so it just made me feel really good. It made me feel really confident too. Like when people would suggest things like the formula, or you know, you're like, no, I'm good.
Right.
You know.
Well, I love the update you guys had from that breastfeeding segment with Latch Support. You guys now are on the WIC Women, Infant, and Children public service announcement. That'll be coming out, and continuing on the Forward Progress show with your updates. And I'm looking forward to a lot more from you guys. Most people don't have their little babies on set or whatever.
Right, you see why.
But hey, it works if they're going to be on camera all the time. We start young. The Arrows start really young.
Right, you gotta learn.
That's a wrap up, y'all. I'm so very, very proud. I hope that you guys continue to move forward in everything that you do. Well, here at the Forward Progress Show, we always want to say that you can go from dream to screen, page to stage, and make forward progress at any age. Thank you, Candice Lachey and Ray of Sunshine, Jade Turner, and Zion Turner. I got it right. Thank you again, everyone. Thank you for joining us. God bless you, and have a great day, evening, or night.